Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat po sa Panginoon sa magandang araw na ito. Lahat ng mga participants at mga bisita na
Isang koponang gusto agad dagdagan ang kanilang unang panalo at isang gustong magsimula din ng winning streak para maging mahigpit ang pwestuhan sa taas ng ating team standings ang magiging kwento ng ating aksyon ngayong hapon. Nakakatatlong mga aktibong laro na po tayo kaninang umaga at kung nakukulangan pa po kayo ng aksyon ay may tatlong nag-iinit pang laro ang ihatid namin sa inyo ngayong hapon dito lamang sa patuloy na coverage ng Atlantis 88 Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. So gusto ngayon makita natin yung ating mga laro ngayong hapon. Una, 18 under division para sa Quezon Junior Huskers up against Bauan Cafe 1. 1-1 for Quezon, 1-0 for Bauan Cafe. And pagkatapos niyan, the next game, the second will be the 16 under division. Tapos mamaya yung ating 14 under division. Good morning, good afternoon friends. Nico Roch here along with my partner Coach Mike Perez. And Coach Mike, what can we expect here sa laro ng 18 under division ng Quezon Junior Huskers up against Bauan Cafe 1?
Well, before anything, I'm really excited to be working with you finally, Nico. It's really good to meet new people on the panel. But yeah, tama ka doon. 18 and under right now. We're gonna have Quezon going up against Bauan Cafe 1. And really interesting match between these two teams.
And let's talk about the Quezon Junior Huskers who are 1-1. They lost their last game against Leyte. What can we expect here in their matchup against Bauan?
Well, you know, they really are hoping to get better traction this time. No, really good defense in that game versus Leyte. And their 9 3-pointers really was the one that did them well for that game. Although medyo malaki yung turnovers that they gave up. They gave up 29 turnovers that resulted to 22 points for Team Leyte. And also I think the bench really should step up because they're in minus 31 if you compare them versus that of Leyte in that game.
Bauan Cafe 1-0 entering this matchup 110-84. Can we expect the same dominance in this matchup or will it be tightly contested?
Well, I feel it's pretty much a defensive team itong Bauan. When you look at their numbers from the previous game, they were able to in store for Bauan Cafe 1.
So with that, let me introduce you the third member of our panel, Daphne Cristobal at courtside. Daphne, take it away.
Nico and Coach Mike, para sa Team Bauan, yesterday was a history but today is going to be a whole different story. Para naman sa side ng Quezon, yung panalo daw nila, they just have to take it one game at a time. Pero bago ang lahat, gusto muna namin magpasalamat sa MPBL Manny Pacquiao 18 under. Pero bago ang lahat, pumunta na muna tayo sa ating venue game announcer.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to University of Perpetual Health. This is the Atlantis 88 Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Inaugural season. It's the first game of our afternoon triple header between the Quezon Junior Huskers 18 under and the Bauan Cafe 1 18 under. Introducing the starters. First from your Quezon Junior Huskers. On guard, number 6, Patrick Cole. Other guard, number 16, Rancis Morosigon. At forward, number 23, Dion Alas. At forward, number 24, Rex Villanueva. And at center, number 12, John Soriano. Head coach, Melky Villanueva. And now, here are the starters of your Bauan Cafe Uno 18 under. On guard, number 1, Amol Gunting. Under guard, number 7, I.C. Kalyangan. On forward, number 78, Kelsey Baldori ng bawat batang Pilipino.
We're about ready for tip-off. Starting 5 has been announced for the Quezon Huskers, who are currently 1-1 against Bauan Cafe 1-0. And Coach Mike, just some of the things that I noticed here. Quezon Huskers, they won last game versus Leyte 67-58, while yung Bauan Cafe 110-84. It's a battle of offense and defense. And it's una nakatres agad dito ang ating Quezon Huskers. It's a matter of which will reign supreme, right? It's a battle of a immovable object against an unstoppable force when it comes to defense.
Yeah, varying styles itong dalawang teams na to. Of course, itong Cafe Bauan, like we mentioned earlier, very much predicated defensive yung kanilang attack. Samantalang ito naman Quezon Huskers pride themselves on being offensively very fluid under Coach Melky Villanueva. And immediately, kita natin kanina that quick 3 coming out of the jump right there. Hit straight on. And I mean, if you're coming off a tip-off at tumira ka ng ganon, it means Marasigan is definitely a designated shooter here for Coach Melky of the Quezon Junior Huskers.
I was able to cover the Quezon Junior Huskers last time, and that's why the names of the players are really fresh. And when I saw Bien Marasigan, it's more of, oh, yeah, it's about time. It's always going to be him. Oh, he's the first option last game. Had 26 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 steals in their last 2 games. May it be a loss or a win. He's always going to be there when it comes to situations like this.
Yeah, and I think it's important at developmental leagues such as Junior MPBL to be able to shore up these talents coming up. You know, like what you said in the previous broadcast, you know, scouts are going to be there, college coaches, and even high school coaches looking for quality players that can bring in their program.
Definitely, and isa pang who starts slow, you'll know he's gonna get his form eventually in the game.
Yep, and I asked Coach Melky also, is it the Johns that's actually ruling your team and leading them? And he says yes. He was talking about John Rex Villanueva and John Soriano. Both these 2 Johns are actually designated and really the leaders of the Quezon Junior Huskers.
But talaga mga Johns no? Sila yung leader for Quezon Junior Huskers. While for sa Bauan Cafe, kita natin, we mentioned a while ago that they 110-84, but before that, I think we have a timeout on the floor. Early one for the Junior Huskers.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat po sa Panginoon sa magandang araw na ito. Lakas ng pangatawan natin at itong biyaya, pagkakataon na makapaglaro tayo ng basketball. Maraming salamat sa ating Commissioner, Keith Picasso, at sa lahat ng mga organizers for this event. Sa lahat ng mga team, lahat ng mga participants at mga bisita na nandito ngayon.
Babalik tayo dito sa Atlantis 88, Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL battle in the 18 under division. Quezon Junior Huskers up against Bauan Cafe. 1-1 versus 1-0, looking for the second win, both teams.
Well, right now it appears that both teams are actually looking for dribble penetrations, inside incursion, support opportunities to score in the paint. Right now, none of them have actually made volume shots from 3 except for that one on the tip-off by Marasigan.
Yeah, so far they prefer to play in the paint with Bien Marasigan taking advantage of the 3 a while ago. And a 3-pointer there off to the right, rebounded for Quezon. This time Villanueva, 0 for 2 now. See here, Bauan, they're running, wasting no time with a fast break. And finished by number 34 of Bauan, that's LeBron James Daep. I like this name. laging didikit. Another one for LeBron James. LJ Daep, not sure if this is his nickname, but to just shore in it. 8 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists in their last game.
Well, surely he's been living up to his name of LeBron James. And yeah, it takes a lot of expectations to be able to bring that name on you.
And I would say that's a center.
Mhm.
I think center / power forward considering they're two big guys playing for Bauan. And he's surprisingly quick in getting that steal a while ago. May konting may konting kamustahan para
Yeah.
sa ating unang laro sa hapon.
As you see their coach, Melky Villanueva, of course, leading the charge para dito sa Quezon Junior Huskers.
And so far, dito sa Bauan, medyo nagmamadali sa. You can see that one of their coaches getting mad with that possession, almost losing it to a turnover. Maybe because they have the lead, there's no need to rush.
Yeah, they were actually trying to get that ball past that first line of the press because some coaches prefer that. You get it past the first line and then tatlo na lang yung kalaban mo defensively. But yung pasa, I guess, was the one that Coach CJ Topacio was not very impressed with.
Yeah, definitely. Medyo tumaas nga boses niya dun when he saw that pass a while ago. Another one for Bauan. They have a 9-point lead in 6 minutes and 51 remaining, short on that three-pointer. Villanueva with the board.
So far, what we've been seeing here from Bauan Cafe Uno, these guys are playing with a lot of pace and a lot of force, no?
Counter that physicality, but the offense just not connecting right now. You can see sa kanila, it's more of set offense.
Yeah.
With Bauan trying to find their form with regards to the fast break, since that's where so napansin ko in their last game, that's how they find their form, and eventually, gulat ka na lang, they're up by 20.
Right. And ito, the threes had not been falling for Quezon. Maybe it's time to switch it up, their point of attack.
Sidestep nilabas, but a turnover. That's a steal by JD Pagulayan. Pagulayan had 24, 6 and 4 in 24 minutes of action. Really efficient numbers now that I think about it. Another one here. Another chance. Pagulayan getting blocked from behind. A great defensive sequence by Quezon. And an end one. Well, not an end one. Almost an end one. 2 free throws at the line for the Junior Huskers.
Well, that run actually started with that block from the other end by Soriano on this drive. Good block by the first half of the Johns of Coach Belki. So defense into offense, and Tolentino really just running that break and trying to find that open gap so they can score in transition.
Let's give this first to Daphne Cristobal for a report. Daphne, go ahead.
Scouting became an advantage on the side of Quezon Junior Huskers, but for Coach Melky Villanueva, his mantra is nothing to lose, everything to gain. Cliché as it may sound, pero kaya daw kasi napag-aralan na nila ang mga tendencies ng Bauan. They still need to be mindful of their own execution. Let's see about that, Nico and Coach Mike.
Thank you so much for that, Daphne. There's a lot to coaching, of course, a thankless job. Ang daming kailangan isipin, right? You think about your team, and then you have to think about the other team, the tendencies. There's a lot of going on. So as your job as the coach is more of like, ikaw talaga yung captain. You tell your guys, dito lang kayo mag-focus, the rest kami na bahala.
That's right, and it's very important for coaches to be doing that. And I like that Coach Melky said that whatever it takes, they just go with it. But very important they be able to execute. As you see this beautiful block right here by LeBron James, looking like Iguodala driving against LeBron in that finals.
And sakto pa yung block niya dun. Any
Right.
second short, that would have been called goaltending.
Right.
LeBron-esque.
Exactly.
Daep, one more time, LeBron James Daep, making sure that we will not forget his name. For us in the panel and for those watching on Facebook and YouTube and Channel 98 on Signal TV.
LeBron James Daep's been pretty impressive here. He's leading.
Different kind of LeBron James here, which is a one who's more aggressive. You see that he's there in the perimeter getting those steals. It's just a matter of what kind of, so far yung Bauan, their players, the players that they have really are all around. You can really box them.
Exactly. And this time, itong si John Soriano been running that lane, that rim run on that initial transition attack. Tried to go for it, but he was blocked right there. And you love big men that actually run the floor, especially on defensive rebound and pushing that pace. very rare normally. Yung big man mo, sila yung naiiwan and they're the trailers. But if you have a guy like Soriano for Quezon Junior Huskers, you're going to play with it and you're going to milk that.
What I love about the junior MPBL ever since I started covering for this one, has it been a week or 5-6 days? It's more of the bigs. They're just called the bigs on paper, but most of them can operate in the perimeter if needed. Ang ganda na ng evolution ng Philippine basketball, and hopefully it continues till they reach the pros and the senior ranks.
Yep, and it seems that Coach Melky is actually pushing that pace now for
Counter the 2 with the 3. Mas lalo pa talaga yung lead dito ng Bauan. That is Kalangan, IC Kalangan.
The IC is one of those names that came up when we tried to, scout the players and figure out who the top players are. IC's been one of those guys that was mentioned for Bauan.
And IC Kalangan with 17-2-3 last time. Looking like a dead shot from the 3-point area after that.
But tsaka yung length nitong Bauan din, if you look at IC, you have the two Johns as well. You couple that with LeBron James Daep. That's much to cover for the junior Huskers.
I don't know where I was when I was 18 years old. I don't remember being this big or being lengthy. Or at least the players I watched, parang hindi pa lahat ganito. Maybe in a roster of 15, dalawa lang or tatlo yung mga ganitong players na nakita natin sa junior MPBL. And kita mo talaga that genes are not fair. That's what I noticed.
I remember Javi and Migs talking about it in one of the games that they covered last week. And they said that hindi na nila alam kung ano kinakain ng mga bata ngayon. Dati kasi sabi ni Javi, it's just...
So 19-8 is our score here for Bauan with an 11-point lead. You can see that it doesn't matter where they're converting. Inside the paint, outside, they will get their points.
And more importantly, they're making Quezon very uncomfortable with that almost 3/4 press from the back. Every time they make a conversion, that's always a press that's coming for Bauan. Right now, they're wasting too much. Good backdoor there.
Now, ano lang talaga na nahabol lang ng oras. But the backdoor cut, you said, Coach Mike, sakto naman. I think that was the play that we were trying to do. Just a bit late, not recognizing the time. Could have shot it just at least with the hopes of making it.
Yep. I feel that, Bauan's very comfortable doing just single coverage against a man set. And, them making shots and getting defensive stops, that's been their trademark here for Bauan.
RD Dolor with a high looper 3 with no one there. I think he came off a curl with the screen there. Ang ganda ng execution so far for Bauan, which makes their 110 points last game really impressive. Not looking like a fluke.
Yep, and that press continues to be working para dito sa Bauan as they force another turnover.
That was Aris Kane Borja, 10.7 rebounds in just 15 minutes of action.
Yeah, and that's 7 turnovers already for Quezon in this game, forced by Bauan.
Really overwhelming first quarter. If you check the stats, everything pointing towards the guys in black.
Yeah, and that press of Bauan is really, in local terms, naka-DN eh. In their last game, they had 31 points out of 21 forced turnovers against Imo's AJA ballers. And so that really just goes to show you the length of coverage defensively. They just make that court look so small that there's very little space for Quezon to operate on.
Gaya nga sabi ni Tito Mike Reyes, pandiinan yung galawan nitong Bauan. Pandiinan meaning, for at least the way I understood it, it looks like they have more than 5 guys on the floor. It's really intimidating, at least for Quezon Junior Huskers, especially the length that they have.
But I sure would love to meet him someday.
Why not, diba? Who knows in the future?
Yeah. Baka pwede ako maging contestant sa Itbulaga.
That's gonna be something else. That's another bucket list that we might have to check and add to our bucket list. Wala pa yun sa akin so far. Alright, a rebound there. I think 0 for 2.
Yeah. Tsaka even on the rebounds, you see that right there, Nico, they already got the defensive board, but the pressure was still there and forcing another turnover. He wasn't even able to release that ball to attack a transition on the other end.
24-8, parang tribute kay Kobe Bryant itong score natin.
Oh, yeah.
And I think think a holding foul called on Bauan, I think by number 5. That is 1.
Right now, it's a +8 attempt favor for Bauan over Quezon. Just goes to show you gaano kadikit itong depensang binibigay ng Bauan versus Quezon.
20 seconds remaining. They give it to the right side. And a miss mga unforced turnovers. Not really helping their cause right now as they try to catch up to this lead.
Well, not really a very good read there on that drive by Verso. He had a guy on him. It was single coverage. He was trying to drive lane side. He had a guy in the corner. I think that was Villanueva, if I'm not mistaken, in the corner. Villanueva's defender was staying on him. So he could have, Verso could have finished instead straight to the rack because he wasn't getting any help from the corner. But if that defender helps out on Verso driving, that's the time that he kicks it out. Kaya siya nag-turnover because drive siya, walang help, pinasa niya, turnover.
Nailang yung guy na sasalo sa corner.
Right. And these guys are going to learn it. I mean, they really have good coaches in Coach CJ Topacio. I mean, even assistant coach Winnie Arboleda, who's got 18 years experience in the PBA. I mean, you know, one of the toughest guards in the PBA actually in the staff of Bauan.
In one of the sides. I think that was before their game. Anyway, that's the end of the first quarter. 25 for Bauan. Dominant lead over just the 8 of the Quezon Junior Huskers. We'll see you guys for the second quarter.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat po sa Panginoon sa magandang araw na ito. Sa ating Commissioner, Chief Picasso, at sa lahat ng mga organizers for this event. Sa lahat ng mga team, lahat ng mga participants at mga bisita na nandito ngayon, magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Sa liga ng bawat batang Pilipino, ang Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. Maraming pangarap ang natupad ngayong araw na ito.
Alright, welcome back to Atlantis 80 Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. Nico Roch here with Coach Mike Perez here inside the University of Perpetual Health System Delta Gymnasium. Really long name, but admittedly one of the most beautiful campuses I've been in.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of players as well. You see the jersey of Scotty Thompson raised there. But ang dami pang mga players from before, and a lot of them really still very much active in Philippine basketball. You talk about, you know, Perpetual. You cannot mention help but mention the name of Jerry Andaleon, who now is the conditioning coach of Muntinlupa. And he's been one of those that built this alongside Coach Eric Ramirez, who I understand is going to be coaching the Manila Pirates for the Junior MPBL. So, you know, daming talents that's come out of this basketball school of Perpetual.
Definitely, and I remember my earlier times of watching Perpetual. I remember Earl Scotty Thompson, and I was like, this is really rare to see a guard averaging 9 to 10 a game,
right.
Almost a triple-double in the NCAA. And can you just imagine what kind of other players that we might see in the future unearthing hidden gems? It's now that meron ng Junior MPBL to give these kids more playing time as well as more exposure.
And there, another turnover here forced by Bauan. Really just a suffocating defense that, you know, makes them turn the ball over. And when you talk about that, so far in the first quarter, they've been able to force Quezon into 9 turnovers, to which they got 10 points. And that's huge already. When you look at the score, that's you're up what? That's 19?
19,
yeah.
Yes, Coach, and the lead bigger than what's Quezon has scored. And let's take a look here, Coach, what happened in the first half. It's overwhelming every category that you guys are gonna think of. It's all pointing towards Bauan, with the field goal shooting 40 to the 25%, the 2-point shooting, the 3-point shooting, you name it. Even the free throws, it's 87% for Bauan.
Yeah, and Quezon needs to be a little bit more forceful on the floor. You got to put up a challenge against this. Ooh, what a drive right there. I mean, I was saying they got to put up a challenge against these lengthy players and athletic guys of Bauan.
And we see here another look at that drive by, I think that's Marasigan. And Bien Marasigan the guy that they will look up to when it comes to climbing back in this deficit. So for Bauan Cafe, we know about them, about their offense. That's what we mostly talked about at the start of the pregame. But before that, I think, not sure kung ano nangyari dun, was the cramps or...
Yeah, I think one player was cramping up para sa Bauan. When, why not? At the rate that they've been playing defense and forcing Quezon into 9 turnovers in the first quarter alone, it's gonna take a toll on you. Kahit na ganyan kabata yung mga yan, medyo may pagod factor din, ano?
Definitely, Coach. And it's 18 under na tayo. They're on the cusp of making it into college teams, or meron na sigurong college teams. So iba, di pa lang ina-announce. Or they're flying under the radar.
Right.
Still, it's 27-10. Quezon down by 17. Bauan Cafe, everything clicking for them. And I think that should go back to Bauan.
Well, one thing that's pretty obvious offensively para dito sa Bauan is that they're doing a side ball screen that's empty, meaning walang tao sa corner. They're making that guy in the corner move to the other side of the floor on the other corner so that it's a clear two-man game on one end of their attack.
Yeah, this is what I really like about you, Coach Mike, the way you view the game and everything. Sobrang ganda sa cover.
It really goes with the passion for the game too.
And if I may ask you, Coach, what do you read? What materials do you use to be more familiar with the technical terms when it comes to coaching?
Yeah, and I guess I started with, I'm a triangle offense guy, so I have a lot of Tex Winter. Other ones would be Slapping Glass, who else? Mark Hart, Chris Dorsey very lately. He's been one of those guys that's really good, lalo na in presenting I guess yung Princeton offense. And of course, I have other coaches also that have taught me well. Coach James Tolentino of San Pedro Spartans, Coach Ronel Loteria, the former assistant coach of the only championship team, I believe, of College of St. Benilde, who was the assistant for Coach Dong Vergera back in the day. So, getting to know coaches and learning from them is also part of the journey for me.
So the learning doesn't stop from the training camps that
Right.
you go to. It's more of what else can you do to supplement your learning.
So I always tell coaches, it's important to get that knowledge, but it's also vital to be able to apply it. Knowing it doesn't change you. Doing it does.
Finally, a 3 there by Marasigan. And Marasigan now with 8 points. The lead dwindling down a bit. 27-13, 14 points. They're doing this inch by inch. Doesn't have to be overwhelming, but it's more of just Quezon just calming down. But before that, Daphne Cristobal here has something for us, everybody.
Despite having back-to-back games, it's not a burden or a reason for Bauan Cafe Uno to not deliver on this game. They might be physically tired, pero dito ng araw natin matetest yung mental toughness na meron sila individually. As per Assistant Coach Winnie Arboleda, aside from their skills and talent, it's their basketball IQ which will be challenged on this game. Nico and Coach Mike.
It just speaks about the respect of Bauan sa Quezon. Imagine mo basketball IQ nila yung matetest. It's more of they know how complicated it might be to challenge a team like Quezon. Even though the score is like this, they are capable of coming back by any time. Ayun na nga, right on cue, bakit sila makakabalik? Because of guys like Marasigan now with 11 points, already almost close to half to what he made in the previous game.
Well, clear cut. Marasigan's really the scorer and the shooter from the outside. The way that he hoists it, much confidence, and the motor's really just good.
And a 3 attempt there by Bauan trying to counter what Marasigan has done. But it's
Almost sounded like JD Kagulangan. Even when the first read it, JD's one of the really good players.
Definitely.
But itong si JD Pagulayan also is,
I like how we're mixing the names already. I told Coach Mike a while ago, Coach, alam mo ba, binabasa ko yung mga notes natin. Alam ko si JD Kagulangan. Pwede ba si JD Kagulangan dito? 18 under pa lang, but already committed to UP. But it's different. It's a Pagulayan. But with regards to their scoring sa 3-point prowess, I think there are similarities to what we're seeing.
And this other JD that we have now in the junior MPBL sure would love to get that level of JD Kagulangan. And as long as the other players too, that's their aspiration. That's why they joined a junior MPBL.
And I would say things will just hasten with regards to their progress as players whenever you join leagues like this, well organized, and you're gonna be exposed to talent from all levels of the Philippines. May it be Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. 33-16, 17-point lead for Bauan. And talking about Coach, go just a slight throw, balik tayo ulit kay JD Cagulang. I feel like he's ready for the pros. What do you think? So, knowing what you know about him and seeing him play for you, he still needs some seasoning. But going back to the defensive play earlier, Pagulayan, 13 points now. I think it's 3-pointer.
Yeah.
Coach, just a replay. Kita natin with a hand in his face. All net, no problem, no hesitation. That's why Bauan with a 20-point lead. A 3 by Marasigan. And we are trading threes here inside the Perpetual Gym. Kala ko sa labas lang umuulan.
Yeah, both these teams are actually looking for threes, and another 3 right there. Boy.
And just to be honest, it will be hard for Quezon Junior Huskers to catch up if they just keep trading baskets.
Yeah. You have to play both ends of the floor. I mean, you know, sure, your shots are falling, but you have to be able to stop them from scoring too. Right now, you're down huge by around 20.
Marasigan trying to do a heat check there from 26 feet on the left side. No good.
Very little dip. When he catches it, he keeps it up and then raises it. Yung iba kasi, you know, I guess by force of habit, they bring it down to their waist. Yeah. Bring it down to your waist and put it up. You know, he's almost like, kind of like a Klay Thompson-esque release where he catches it and then releases it. And so, you know, he's getting points with very minimal dribbles. But one thing that he's got to learn, though, is that once you try and make an attempt and you see that defense closing out, full close out, you have to be able to attack it going back. Because the defense won't be able to recover.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And so far, no problem for JD Pagulayan.
Yeah.
18 points already, make that 19, and now 20 after that shot. 42-19. Don't look now. Pagulayan now with 20 points. So just the 19 of Quezon Junior Huskers.
And mas nakakatakot niyan, he's also a really good free throw shooter. So either way, he's gonna score on you.
Definitely. And kita natin doon Quezon Junior Huskers with 13 remaining in the shot clock. Shooting that 3-pointer. Pagulayan now guarded by Villanueva. At the top of the key, another 3-point attempt for Bauan, and they are not finished this time. It's Icy Kalangan.
Well, Icy and JD, two of the guys, you know, we're not even mentioning about LeBron James Daep even. But these two guys have been just sensational here for Bauan Cafe Uno.
Ayan na nga, nakatres na nga dito si Rex Villanueva, first of the game. And if I must give a short spiel about Rex Villanueva, that is a microwave scorer. Once he sees the ball enter, tuloy-tuloy na yan. That's what I observed in the past 2 games. Pagulayan missing that shot. Short.
Yeah. And now if you're Quezon, you gotta be able to push it.
But if you're Bauan, you're already in the penalty with that. It's more just play honest defense. No need to be over-aggressive considering you guys are up by 23. Take a look here. The 3-pointer by Icy Kalangan. It is a counter by Rex Villanueva. So that's the trend that we've been seeing right now. Bauan off to a big lead, outscoring Quezon 25-8. So almost the same in the second quarter, although a bit closer. 20 points for Bauan, 14 for Quezon.
Yeah, well, Quezon's made already 4 3-pointers out of their 12 attempts. 5 rather out of the 13 attempts. Bauan's also got 7 of 13. So both shooting very well from the outside. It's really just a matter of the turnovers now. Defensively, this is really favoring more Bauan.
A glaring thing that we're seeing right now is the 11 turnovers of Quezon to just the 4 of Bauan. And if you're giving up a lot of points off your turnovers, then that's going to be a really hard task for you to come back in the second half. And then there, offensive rebounds, there's no box out.
And that press continues for Bauan even after a make. So no rest here for Bauan on both ends.
These teams know that no lead is safe. We have seen leads dwindle down from 20 plus to a mere 5 to 7 points. And alam mo, papawisan ka pa na dapat hindi na. And you can only blame yourself. It's like that. The last 2 seconds here, a forward pass, but no good. No problem though, a turnover, but it's 47 to 24 with Bauan 18U Cafe with a commanding 23-point lead over just the 24 of the Quezon Junior Huskers. We'll see you guys for the halftime break.
Nais kong pasalamatan ang ating Panginoon sa binigay niyang lakas.
Na yung mga shooters nila hindi namin nakukuha. Pati yung big man nila hindi namin ma-stop kasi masyado malalaki. Tapos small yung lineup namin. Isa lang yung big namin kaya bawi kami mamaya.
Hopefully sa second half po maging evident na yung mga necessary. We will be right back.
Ako ay nagagala.
For that, now that we've seen here a few three-pointers from both ends with all the stops and the breaks that we've been seeing, can you tell us the story of the first half, 47 to 24? What happened here?
Well, so far it's really been all Bauan. The pressure that they bring makes or misses. That press is on, and that press is very forceful. And even when they get that turnover, you know, the way that they attack offensively really causing a lot of pressure then defensively para dito sa Quezon Junior Huskers. If you look at the numbers of Quezon Junior Huskers, previous game they were only what? They only got very few bench points. Actually, they were a minus 31, only able to come up with 14 bench points. And right now, I do understand why that is, because the only ones in double digits right now para sa Junior Huskers, you have Marasigan. He's got 14 points, going 4 out of 6 from the field and 2 out of 2 from the free throws. He's 4 out of 5 from threes. And somebody's got to be able to help itong si Marasigan. And at least defensively, kailangan, tighten a little bit that defensive screw. Samantala, ito namang Bauan, just too much firepower. They went on a 14-point run when that score was 3 and 14, and then the biggest lead they enjoyed was 26 at 19 and 45 part. Yung bench points there, that's 8-0 in favor of Bauan. Just very forceful, lalo na dito kay Pagulayan, who's got 21 points to you, na-mention mo na kanina, and IC Kalangan, who's got 10 to help out. And so, yung support na binibigay ni Kalangan dito kay Pagulayan is exactly that missing guy on the side of the Junior Huskers that should help Marasigan, especially in the point production.
And I was mentioning to you a while ago, Coach Mike, itong si IC Kalangan, I was surprised. Oh, he already has 7 assists on Tugaling. But it's more of, after reflecting on what we have seen and the first half action, it's more of the way the offense is flowing for Bauan. Napaka-natural. Walang pilit. That's why, 7 assists.
And so far, the closest to a support guy na kailangan ni Marasigan is really the Villanueva who made a floater a while ago.
You can see there a lefty finish, just short on that one for Bauan. Still a 20-point lead here. And going back to the stats that we were just sharing to the viewers here, 51% for Bauan to the 29 of Quezon. But what people don't...
Quezon Junior Huskers.
Yun din, it's Marasigan with the drive, and Marasigan still continues to pile on the points for the Junior Huskers. But it's the question here for Quezon is, aside from the turnovers, it's right on cue, is who else can help out beyond Marasigan, right? Who else can be the one to spice up the offense? Kumbaga, it's been predictable. It's gonna go to Marasigan. He's the one making the shots, right?
Yeah, and there are actions on the floor that's not captured by stats, and hustle plays, hedging out, doing switches. And somebody's got to do that for the Junior Huskers, because it seems that all the stats are flowing for Marasigan, but eventually, if all the action is coming through Marasigan, offense and defense, that guy's gonna tire out too.
Definitely, and that's something that we should work out. And look at that, that's LeBron James Daep, and Daep not moving, looking like a modern wing that we see in the collegiate ranks.
Yep. Length and athleticism. Kaya ngayon, it's very possessionless ang basketball. Each of the bigs are expected to have guard skills. Kaya don't be surprised anymore na you're saying malaki siya tapos may guard skills, because that's already an expectation. Bigs right now are expected to have guard skills to be able to play the game and get to the next level. Because if you're just a big that's staying on post, there's very little chance that you're gonna get into the varsity team. So you have to be able to develop that, dribbling, scoring, penetration, lateral moves, and
as long as you have those, baka may chance ka na sa team. Ngayon, mas dumami pa yung criteria. No? It's like a job interview na, okay, ang dami mong kailangan. Kailangan mo maging project manager, kailangan mo na maging developer. Lahat kailangan mo na gawin. But it's more of just if you want to keep up with the world talents, you want to keep up with the powerhouses of what the world can give. Yun talaga eh.
yeah.
Unfair as it may seem.
It's a forced turnover here given by Quezon, and so you got to build on this. You're down huge. Doesn't mean you're out of this game already, but you have to be able to chip away on this deficit.
A possession there by Bauan, and you can see that's IC Kalangan, cool as ice with the drive with the lefty layup.
And there's just too much comfort and joy in the way that they're scoring. See that move right there, dipsy-do from Marasigan, but Marasigan took that 94 feet of all the way to score. How much more of the entire time can he do that?
And just to talk about going back to Bien Marasigan, who's doing everything he can to lift the Quezon Junior Huskers. He reminds me of Diego Dario, with how Diego Dario plays right now with Meralco. Guns blazing to the driving. But before we talk about more of those players, let's give it to Daphne Cristobal. Daphne.
During the halftime huddle, the energy was emphasized by the Quezon Junior Huskers coaches. Kailangan daw nilang trabahuhin at sipagan pa at magbigay kulay nga sa larong ito. Hindi lang yung dapat nanonood sila sa kalaban nila. They also have to...
Natural. You see LeBron James Daep here.
Yeah. And that was a good report by
Definitely.
By Daphne too, because Coach Melky was on point when he said we have to show a little bit of energy, because yung energy that you bring on the floor is actually that's something that you bring defensively, and so a lot of activity on the defensive end, which you have to have that certain level of energy, because if you're gonna be like playing deflated, then this game's already over for you. So you have to be able to have that fight. You can lose a game, but you cannot lose the fight.
Definitely, and once you lose that energy, it will all translate to the offensive end. Kasi it's like an inflated balloon na wala na talaga yung pressure. So,
Right.
and sometimes you have to build around that one. Tumatakbo dito ang Quezon Junior Husker, but you can just see the length of Bauan. They are not letting up.
Yeah, Quezon is actually a couple of...
Soriano opting for a mid-range. No good, and should go back to the white shirts with 2 minutes and 58 remaining.
Yeah, katulad nun, Verso had the right thing in mind. That ball was on the wing. They were playing zone. He cut in the middle, flashed middle. He got that rock. It's up for you to create and score on that situation. And good three here. Yeah.
Nakatres na sila si Damian Alas. I forgot to mention, Coach, ito si Dian, sorry the name, Dian Ronald Alas. I want to confirm, ano bang relation mo kina Kevin at kina Kiefer Alas?
Yeah, that we gotta find out, because yung mga Alas na yan, they're all over. I know of one coach, I think it's Carmelo Alas, who's from Batangas, used to be the coach. I don't know if he's still coaching the Batangas teams in the NCAA South, but I think he's either a cousin or a brother of Coach Louis Alas. And we played against him in the NCAA South. He's very methodical and very Alas-like when he approaches the game of basketball. And so maraming mga families na ganyan basketball families. And if you're part of it and your dad's playing, you get that level of support plus factor na kaagad sa iyo sa mga aspirations mo as a basketball player.
And definitely, and I think when your dad is the coach, it has its pros and cons, right?
Right.
Sometimes hindi mo maiwasan yung personal relationship.
Where do you draw the line?
Where do you draw the line? I remember with Kevin Alas being interviewed in one of a podcast, and he's mentioned that sometimes nagtatampo siya sa dad niya for, I think, for calling him out on practice. But maybe it's because to show the team that I'm not favoring my son. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, dads and coaches would have different approaches to players and sons, and even daughters. Women nowadays also play basketball. I covered one of the 3x3 recently of women international 3x3. And nakikita mo talagang minsan magaling pa yung babae sa lalaki. The one thing that's different though with women and men's basketball, and I know you guys can confirm this, medyo fundamentally sumusunod talaga ang women's basketball.
Inunahan mo na ako sa script ko, Coach Mike, and I agree 110% with regards to women being more fundamentally sound compared to the guys, the boys, the men's. Maybe because women, mostly because of the genes, they can't focus on the acrobatic layups, they can't focus on the dunking part. So they will instead focus on making every drive, making every cut worth it para pag nakalusot sila sa defender, easy to. It doesn't matter how you do it, basta you get that ball inside the basket.
Yeah. And make no mistake about it. Men are disciplined, but women, they're super disciplined.
Super disciplined. And the reason why medyo fresh pa tong idea ko of women's basketball is because I watched the Gilas women's game yesterday. The FIBA Under-16 Championship sa Division B. We are 1 game away from making it to Division A if we become the champions. That's why we were having this conversation now about how fundamentally sound they are. But before that, a basket for Quezon, 59-35.
A good run here by Quezon.
There you go. That's what you need. Small increments of positivity and then be able to build from there.
Right, and just being sound fundamentally. You attack that rack, help comes, give it to the guy that's least guarded, and let him score.
You can see here Quezon, who've been fouling a while ago, but have been defending well, but not this time. There's gonna be 3 guys to 1, and an end one, almost an end one for Bauan 18U Cafe. 21-point lead for the black shirts.
Well, first of all, Verso had the right thing in mind in pushing that rock, but you have to be able to take care of that ball. Here, he dishes last second to Alas, but yung next na ano nila dyan, he turned it over. And so situations like those, Verso's got to be able to do that in order to help out Marasigan. and make life a little bit easier for Coach Melky Villanueva, who's been coaching and shouting from the sidelines. You love coaches who are, kahit na malaki na yung lamang, continues to coach. Your coaching never ends. It only ends when
The coaches, diba, they want to compose themselves immediately after getting mad because they don't want the kids to get mad. As much as possible, they want their players to be composed and stay level-headed.
There's had the right thing in mind on that drive earlier, but you know you have to be able to measure up on what the defense is giving you. Another layup here. That's a good one.
That was a great layup by number 17 of Quezon Junior Huskers,
Verso.
John Lloyd Verso. And John Lloyd Verso, ganda ng stats niya. 9.5 points, 8.5 rebounds, 5.5 assists, all-around player. Medyo na-check lang ngayon, but so far, you'll never know. A 21-point lead is not impossible to come back from.
Yeah, and yan yung kailangan gawin niya pag nasa loob na si Marasigan that time around. There,
Again, the power move brought to you by Pound for Pound Fitness by JD Pagulayan. Common thing we see here, official fitness partner of the Junior MPBL.
and these are things that these young players are gonna learn. You know, there are situations when you have to challenge that shot, and there are situations when you have to give it up. Pagulayan was actually 2 to 3 steps ahead of
Medyo
him. Malayo na. So you have to give it up. No, you can challenge it, but you don't force him into an opportunity for a 3-point play.
And ako nga, coach, nung nakita ko yung play na yun, papunta pa lang sila, muntik na mapatayo kasi I feel like a collision might happen.
Yeah.
That's one of two things, right? Either an end one or a nasty collision that could occur when they both jump at the same time.
Right, exactly.
0.6 remaining. Pagulayan.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness, this guy showing us everything on how to score a masterclass by JD Pagulayan. Can you just look at one more time at the fall away, 3-pointer na tamaan pa. And not sure kung may foul ba dun.
That speaks a lot on the defense of Quezon too. I mean, they were on a box.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat po sa Panginoon sa magandang araw na ito.
We make history once again.
Itong biyaya, pagkakataon na makapaglaro tayo ng basketball. Maraming salamat sa ating Commissioner, Chief Picasso, at sa lahat ng mga organizers for this event. Sa lahat ng mga team, lahat ng mga
Take a look here at the mga fans of taga Bauan supporting their players and Coach Mike. They have every reason to scream and shout after the performance we're seeing right now on the scoreboard.
And when you talk about basketball, Batangas is going to be up there, one of the provinces that love basketball games. You know, I've coached players also coming from Batangas, and I know of current players right now who come from that province of Batangas. Very proud of their basketball culture there in Batangas.
And definitely, and there's a reason why yung Batangas City Coolers, nakikita natin yan sa Seniors Division. Yun ba yung tamang term? Seniors Division para sa MPBL. They are right up there with the cities that really appreciate basketball like religion, like Mabaicia, Pampanga. They're up right there.
But itong Batangas under Coach Cholo Villanueva, man, that team just gave Pampanga their very first loss, and you know that place was rocking, especially with how they executed their game plan against Pampanga. They're the only team to beat Pampanga in the men's division of MPBL.
And of course, sina Gov Delta Pineda wants to get that pristine record, no? I think, pag tapos na yung all season, it's gonna be 21-0, or not sure if it's supposed to be like that. But of course, that's the record they were gunning for, but Batangas City has other plans.
And you know, just to give visually an implication of that, how really nice that game was. Javi Palanya, who covered that beautiful game in Batangas, was supposed to render duty the following day, but because he was so exhausted with that really good game, he says, "Coach, I need a sub."
I knew I knew that was gonna happen. If Javi didn't call for a sub the next day, sabi ko, this guy really lives in, he does live in Greek basketball, but I would say he's not human, considering humans also need rest. Kasi pag-usapan natin yung nangyari doon prior, but before that, 3-point shot by John Rex Villanueva, now with 9 points in 14 minutes. Let's talk about ano ba nangyari sa day na yun. That was the day na sobrang traffic and the games were all delayed because going to Batangas State University, it's virtually impossible considering of the roadblocks heading into that place.
Right.
So grabe talaga yung pinagdaanan lahat. Not just the players but also the panel, the prod staff getting there in the venue was the problem in the first place.
Right. Grabe yun. Baklase yung araw na yun.
Drive there para sa Bauan and kala ko N1 na naman si LeBron James dive everybody.
Well, obviously LeBron James diet's gotta work on his left-hand dribble too. See here, beautiful drive on that pull-up by Marasigan. Actually, a pull-up is one of those weapons that I feel all players should learn. And I saw one clip where Kobe Bryant was mentioning if there's one skill you gotta have and make sure that's in your bag, it's a pull-up, because you use it a lot of times, especially when that defense sag off. You use it on fast breaks, you use it on half-court sets, you use it for a man defense, a zone defense, and so you have to be able to stop immediately and pull up from anywhere and not just hoisting it up from three.
Ganda ng spin move niya, but building on to what you just said, Coach, about the pull-up. Kasi karamihan naman dyan sa pull-up, na what most people don't realize when it comes to basketball, parang iba yung shot mo ng onte, may slight tweak sa pull-up compared to a set shot.
Right.
And that's why, which makes it more difficult kasi it's...
Move there, stop and pop. Twice we've seen him do a pull-up and he stays in control too.
And right, that just right now, yung kakatapos na para sa Bauan 1, Cafe 1, power move brought to you by Pound for Pound Fitness, the official fitness partner of the Junior MPBL. And Bauan, it looks like they're the ones who are catching up, trying to catch up, no? 74 to 50. Now 75, 25-point lead.
And Gunting, after making that free throw, actually pretty decent from the field. 1 out of 2, and the conversions on the free throw.
I think they were... Oh, that's counted for Bien Marasigan, who now has 26 markers. With kay Bien Marasigan, last time he had 8 rebounds and an assist, but now strictly pure bucket shoot first player.
Yeah. I mean, what more can you ask for from Marasigan?
And again, that was a power move brought to you by Pound for Pound Fitness, the official fitness part of the Junior MPBL in Marasigan. Sakto, yung katawan niya ready for those pound for pound hits. Even those other players na a weight class above him.
Right. And he just stays focused with the task at hand for him on both ends.
And maganda kay Marasigan, no? It doesn't matter kung sino ba yung bantay niya, sino yung sasalubong sa kanya sa ring. It's a matter of he knows how to control his body, what kind of force to apply when it comes to he adjusted the player. It's a showing of his basketball IQ.
Right. I see another one right there. This time tumapos naman siya ng layup on the other end with the finish, with that finish, and you know, he just shows us a variety of ways that he can attack offensively, but his teammates got to be able to help him out.
7 minutes and 20 remaining.
Bench points is 16 versus 4. Just 4 points.
16 to 4 nga, and all stats pointing towards Bauan right now. The rebounds are there, the assists, the steals. It's complete domination right now para sa Cafe 1.
And the coaching staff of Bauan right there, Coach CJ Topacio, one of the coaches out of La Salle Sobel in the high school division. Of course, you saw seated right there, Coach Winnie Arboleda.
21-point lead now para sa Bauan. And just to see, that now that we're here in the fourth quarter, seeing everything that just happened, is sa Bauan, the reason why they're up this big is more of kahit tanggalin mo yung mga stars nila, there's still gonna be contribution from other facets of the floor.
Well, it really was predicated on that strong start, no, of Bauan. That's really what got them going, and that quick, strong punch by Bauan, the Junior Huskers didn't have any response to. either they were surprised and they were overwhelmed by that much, especially with the LeBron James dive coming up with what, 6 quick points
6 quick
in that run.
points. And 2 steals na rin. First quarter pa lang. Daep. Called for a dribbling violation.
Yeah.
And coach, let me just to get back to you here, 75-54 with all stats pointing to Bauan. If you're Quezon, if you're part of the coaching, so anong pwede mong unang bigyan ng point of emphasis? Of course, there's a lot to work on, but if there will be a chance to catch up, what do you want this team to focus on first?
Well, first and foremost, it's got to be bench point scoring. I mean, somebody's got to come up and help itong si Marasigan. He's the only guy that's scoring. We saw a 3 earlier by Villanueva. He could be that second guy, like what we mentioned earlier. And you know that not that Marasigan is supposed to take over the game, but he's really gotta need help from the others. I mean, if you take Marasigan and put him in the Bauan team, man, this is gonna be a lopsided win, even more in favor of Bauan. So there's somebody that's gotta step up for Coach Melky Villanueva for the Junior Huskers.
18 points, 6 minutes and 2 remaining. Not impossible. Especially pag ito na nga, right on cue si John Rex Villanueva, nagigising, namumulat ang mata pagdating sa second half, 75-59, time on the floor on the black shirts.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat po sa Panginoon sa magandang araw na ito.
We make history once again.
Itong biyaya, pagkakataon na makapaglaro tayo ng basketball. Maraming salamat sa ating Commissioner, Keith Picasso.
Back here for the Atlantis 88, Manny Pacquiao.
At the 3-minute mark, they still got a good chance.
Especially parang 3 to 4 game possession lang yun, but so maintaining order here para sa Cafe Uno ng Bauan. Back to an 18-point lead. Going back to their strengths, which is inside the paint, knowing that they have the clear size advantage over Quezon. You can see here their point guard saying, let's control this game.
Well, Junior Huskers really have no rim protection right now. That's one thing that's lacking with them.
But so far, there will be a positive thing here that we're noticing between Bauan and Quezon is that Quezon is winning this quarter 19-10. Encouraging stuff, but they need more after that hole that they dug themselves in the first 3 quarters. 4 minutes 52 and natawagan ng 8-second violation dito ang Bauan. And kudos to the Quezon Junior Huskers for applying the pressure without fouling, considering that if they foul, that would have been a penalty for Bauan, which gonna be 2 free throws for them, which could be a chance from 18 to 20 points.
Right.
Villanueva to inbound. Looking for a familiar friend in Marasigan to Villanueva. That is the 1-2 punch that we're seeing right now for Quezon Junior Huskers in play, and the reason why they're winning this quarter. But overall, the game, they still have 50 more points to go.
Yeah, you're right on that. They're actually winning this quarter. 22 versus 12 here.
But Bauan countering that immediately. Konting pamatay sunog, but Villanueva kind of rushing that shot a while ago.
Yeah. But he's been scoring on that same side of the floor. A good thing is Marasigan's giving up that rock to him. But Villanueva, while as much as he's scoring from that end, see here Tolentino.
Oh my goodness! I was about to call a layup by Tolentino. You can see Tolentino laughing at, I think it was Pagulayan who blocked him.
Little mind games here between these guys.
Niya eh. Sabi niya, I think he acknowledged that was a nice block.
Yeah.
And I like the sportsmanship for both teams here. But there, IC Kalangan says, no more smiling. It's 81-62. Timeout on the floor for the Quezon Junior Huskers.
Kit Picasso at sa lahat ng mga organizers for this event. Sa lahat ng mga
Welcome back to Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. Let's take a look at that instant replay by JD Pagulayan, showing that he's not only an offensive type of player, he's a two-way kind of. Cutting this lead to 15, 13, it's back to 21.
Yeah, and very quickly, that block really deflated itong Junior Huskers.
Some sense of normalcy right now for the guys in black. Quezon Junior Huskers still fighting though. That's a part of their personality. Tolentino not caring who's there inside the paint. He will hoist up the shot, but bothered clearly.
Yeah, and Tolentino could have decided a little bit quicker if that's the only thing that he was going to do. As you see, Dive hit that three from the left wing. I mean, going back to Tolentino, if that's the only thing he would have done, then he should have just given it up to Alas, who was in the corner free.
And ito si LeBron James dive. I thought that I already figured him out as a player. I thought that he was specifically just a guy that lives inside the paint, but he can also stretch it out.
Right.
After surprising us with a three-pointer, coach.
Right. The middle pick and roll that just happened between Villanueva and Soriano is actually one of the few things that went well para dito sa Junior Huskers. There's very few times you see them execute very well. It's really more of one-on-one, having Marasigan create, but that time around didn't make that basket, but you love that action.
And coach, for those who are just tuning in here inside Facebook, on YouTube, or those on channel 98 on Signal, what was Quezon doing earlier which made them cut this lead back to 15? Just some positive things here.
Well, they played with more force. They got Villanueva involved in the scoring. We were talking about bench points being something that they should develop, an area for improvement para sa team nila, and Villanueva responded, but they had an opportunity to cut this down further to probably 12 or 11, but the defense on that block earlier, that was easy. 2 points, could have been down to 12 points at that point.
Now for Bauan, when they were only up by 12, how did they manage to bring this back to 27?
Well, just predicated on defense. That's what really started it. That block led to points and led to, mind games with the Junior Huskers. They started to question themselves, baka mamaya mayroon na naman defense that would block me from anywhere. And so a little bit of hesitation offensively for the Junior Huskers.
And usually when you say mind games, for those viewers at home, it's more of my trash talking.
Yeah.
Pero hindi. The mind games that we're talking about, it's more of just some of the things that Quezon Junior Huskers can learn moving on to their next games.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that how long do you keep JD and IC still in this game? You're up huge, and it's an impending win for Bauan. Would be a good time to give these guys rest and to avoid any possible injuries, if ever. And the longer you keep them there, the more they're exposed to action. So parang wala namang immediate need for them to stay in the game. So might as well give them their rest. They earn their minutes, they earn their points, and just give them their time to be able to enjoy the bench naman.
Just a look here kay JD Pagulayan. Only playing. I'm not sure if this is true, but I'm sure it's true. I mean, I'm just saying that in the manner of how he did it. But I think before that, there's a timeout on the floor on Bauan. Back for the Atlantis 88 Manny Pacquiao Jr. MPBL live on Facebook, on YouTube, and Channel 19 and Signal TV. You guys are joined here by me, Nico Rocha, along with my partner, Coach Mike Perez. A minute and 40 remaining here. 91 for Bauan, Cafe Uno. And I just want to give a spotlight here to JD Pagulayan, only playing 21 minutes of action but scoring 34 points on 10 for 17 shooting. That's with 6 of 8 from the 3, 75% with a steal and a block plus 24. What more can you ask for a guy like him?
I'll ask him to get some rest.
Some-
You earned it. Pahinga ka muna, JD. Okay na yan.
Okay ka na, upo ka na. You gotta take your rest. It's well deserved, and have yourself a game. You can also share this to your social media account. Yung mga full games natin nasa Facebook and YouTube. Try to download that. And I mean, the junior MPBL, these guys deserve the exposure, deserve the recognition to what they have been doing.
Pressing, they keep, challenging those shots, even in open the floor.
I don't remember how many chase down blocks that we have seen today from the end of Bauan.
Yeah. And what's even more impressive para dito sa Bauan is IC and JD, their top 2 players, are actually, defensive guys too. They just don't make plays offensively, but they also provide stops.
Yung napansin natin nga sa Bauan, not only are they very overwhelming on offense, but also on defense.
Right.
They can just sneak up on you, and next thing you know, you haven't scored in a while. You haven't scored for half the quarter already.
Yeah.
And that's what we saw from Quezon a while ago, only with 8 points. I mean, they were able to fix that when it comes to scoring in the second to the fourth quarter. But with regards to defense, that's something that should be worked on heading into to their next game. And maganda sa atin dito sa Junior MPBL, marami pang games ang pwedeng abangan.
And itong Quezon is actually a province which really very prideful too of their basketball program. In case you don't know, their Mayor Mark Alcala, actually plays for the Quezon Huskers in the men's MPBL, and he's one hell of a shooter from the outside. So, the support for the program in that province is really something that you can expect from Mayor Mark Alcala.
And si Mayor Mark Alcala, not only a shooter, Coach, may nakita ko rin na he can also drive it to the rim.
Yeah.
Even though may bantay, he can be creative.
Well, that's exactly the word. It's just domination by Bauan. Both ends of the floor started out really strong, lessened a little bit in the fourth quarter, but really came back, and the Lion just woke up and said, we're going to finish this the way we started it, with so much force, getting blocks, getting scores, putting stops, not allowing that run to finish with a win para dito sa Junior Huskers. That's really just how it's been. And considering how they've been winning games, Bauan's going to be in the 18 under. It's going to be one force to reckon with in this bracket.
I'm curious to see what our move of the game is. There are a lot of beautiful moves and plays that we have seen from Bauan. Checking here, oh, there you go, of course, JD Pagulayan with that move of the game, the Atlantis 88 move of the game. I think this was an end one, right, Coach?
Yeah,
Mike,
this
from
was
what I
an end
remember.
one when he should have given up on that layup.
You can also argue, Coach Mike, that the three-pointer a while ago na 4-point, hindi man 4-point player, but before that, let's turn it over to Daphne Cristobal to interview the Atlantis 88 player of the game.
Kasama ko ngayon ang ating Atlantis 88 Best Player of the Game, JD Pagulayan. JD, congratulations! Kahapon ikaw Best Player, ngayon ikaw ulit. Pero gusto ko lang tanungin, paano ka naging consistent? Kasi meron kang 8 out of 9 na free throw shooting ngayong araw.
Tiwala ako sa shooting ko kasi parang comfort na rin namin to kasi sa Perpetual ako nag-aaral at siyempre extra shooting na rin po at yun po. And training extra.
JD, may gusto ka bang pasalamatan or batiin?
Una-una, thank you kay Lord dahil binigay niya ng panalo na to at ginabayan kami sa laro na to. At papasalamat ako kay Sir Alta, Sir Anton, kay Sir Richard at Sir Gusi at saka thank you sa mga sponsor Bauan Cafe Uno at thank you sa pagsuporta sa aking pamilya sa Tugigaraw City, yun po. Saka papasalamat sa mga teammates ko.
Congratulations, JD, and to the rest of Bauan Cafe Uno. Back to the panel.
Alright, thank you again, Daphne Cristobal, to interviewing the clear-cut player of the game sa atin, si JD Pagulayan. And natawa nga ako na sabi ni Daphne na ikaw na naman yung player of the game ngayon. It's a matter of, and what I can assure Daphne is we will continue to see that. But just overall, even though that Bauan was dominating this game, let's not discredit what the fight that the Quezon Junior Huskers showed us here on the court in the Perpetual Gym. And with that, dito nagtatapos ang aming coverage in the 18 under division with Bauan Cafe Uno winning 91 over the 62 of the